Hey, Shalom Akiyam. This is the brother Nashar from the Great Millstone Dallas Camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that are ruling very well. And salutations, man, to all you elect, all you Akiyam pushing this truth, man. But I got something that's been on my spirit. Kind of going through some things right now, which I'm sure we all are. But through what I'm going through, the Lord dropped a few nuggets on me, man, to kind of do a quick hit on, man, and hopefully this thing is edifying. But what's been on my spirit is that everything has its season and time and purpose, and a lot of us read that scripture in Ecclesiastics, and we just kind of leave it at what it's at. But really, that bone has a lot of tenderone meat on it, man. It has a lot of meat on that bone, man, and hopefully I can, hopefully this thing can be edifying. Hopefully I can say it all, together. Hopefully I'm not all over the place. Forgive me if I am, though. But I'm gonna bring it out with Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven." Right? I'm going to read it again. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven." Right? Now, let's get in some of those words, man, because it's some meat on these things, man. And I'm going to get that word there for everything. For everything there is a season. Right? Now, I'm going to let him say it, but the word is Zaman, I believe.
Strong's H2165. Zaman.
There we go. Now, the definition there, the outline of the biblical usage, it is a set time, an appointed time, right? Now, I look up that word appointed. You can look it up in a basic Webster dictionary whenever you get a chance. And that word appointed just simply means to be decided on beforehand, designated. And giving a good example of that is like that position you have right now at work, at your job. The way you get your the way you get your paper so you can pay your bills, right? That position was already there. It didn't come about, right when they hired you. They was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna hire you for this position." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and create this specific position just for you. No, the position was already there. What they were doing is trying to find somebody that best fit that role. Right? Now, I'm not saying that's what the Lord is saying here in this scripture, but I just wanted to give you an example of something being appointed or designated. Now, again, let's go back. Now, the scripture is saying to everything there's a season. So now we know season in the Hebrew is zaman, which means appointed time. So now we know appointed means, to be decided before. So that season that this scripture is going into, that means that season was already decided beforehand. It was already designated, right? So that means you just catching up to it, living your life. I mean, it was already there for you to go through that season, if that makes any sense. Now I'm gonna keep reading. Let's get that word and a time.
Strong's H6256. Eighth.
Now that word there is eighth, is A-T-H or E-T-H. That's not talking about, for you jakes that know what an eighth is as far as drugs, right? We're not talking about that kind of eighth. Eighth means, but in the outline of the biblical usage, it means experiences. That's what stood out to me in this, outside of, time of event, time of usual. Then you got the experiences, fortunes, occurrences, and occasions. Whew, them words are very heavy in this scripture, man. Now, we know what season means. It means an appointed time. So let's go back to the scripture. Give me 1 second, brothers. Forgive my internet. There we go. All right. So we know that the scripture says to everything there's a season and a time. So now we know season means appointed time, and time means can kind of go into experiences and occasions. So now we know that rereading the scripture with that type of understanding, to everything there is an appointed time an experience or occasion, right? Whew. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So let's get to every purpose. I want to get that word real quick. Bear with my internet, brothers. Now check this out. Let's get that word there for every purpose.
Strong's H2656. Chafetz. Chafetz.
Chafetz, and it means delight, pleasure, delight, desire, longing, the good pleasures. Now, what the Lord dropped off in my spirit, man, is that for every appointed time, there's experiences, occasions through delight and pleasure. Now, what I get out of the scripture is that the Lord deals with us through, those experiences, right? Through those occasions, through the things that we delight in, whether it's our woman, the job we have, the car we have, the phone we have, whatever, our parents, or whatever we embrace on this side. The Lord deals with us through those things. And this is crazy. Check this out. So going back to the scripture, as we know what season, time, and purpose is in the Hebrew. So let's read that with that understanding. It says, to everything there is a season, an appointed time, and a time, an experience on occasion, through delight or pleasure under the heavens. Because as you know, everybody on earth right now is delighting or is marinating, for lack of a better word, through their delights and their pleasures all throughout this earth, whether it's good or evil. We're all doing it, right? So the Lord deals with us through those seasons and time and those experiences under the heavens. And it even goes as far as to mentioning things, kind of listing things, giving off things that to kind of further explain what it's meaning. A time to be born, a time to die. See, it's a balance to everything. But I want to touch on verse 5. It says, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Verse 6, it says, a time to get, a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. See, through all those different levels of life like that, we're going to learn. And some things are going to be painful. Some things we're going to embrace and not want to let go of. But through all those different experiences, all those different seasons and appointed times, through all those experiences, the Lord is going to deal with us, right? He's going to put us through the fire. And we already know the Lord deals, man, on multiple levels. So through all those different levels of the trials and tribulations that you may go through, you're going to learn a lot of things, right? Now, with that being said, I want to go ahead and get 1 Corinthians, if I may. Give me 1 second, brothers. Hope I'm spelling this right. 1 Corinthians 13. And I did not spell that right. Silaki, brothers. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, man. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. And I hope this is edifying, man. I hope brothers are right there with me through the spirit. Hold on. Let me. Now I know how to spell it. Forgive my spelling. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now check this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. Now I wanted to get that first so we can know what part is real quick. Let's get that. Oh, wait a minute. Because there's some meat on we know. Right? See, look, it says to learn, to know. And I'm going to get that word for to know.
Strong's G 1097. Gnosko.
And the outline of the biblical usage there is to learn to know, to come to know, to get a knowledge of, perceive, or feel, to become to know. So all those different meanings there in those little in that biblical usage there shows you might not already know. So the Lord deals with us through our lot, so to speak. The things that we go through, he deals with us in that manner to not only shape your mind and make you a perfect man in the end, right? But not only to shape your mind, but so you can gain that wisdom and understanding, which is going to shape your mind in the get-go, right? Does that make any sense? Now let's get I want to get that word part. Check this out. Whew, man, the Lord is so awesome, man. The word part, going into the lot, like I was just saying. See, a part due or assigned to one, a lot, a destiny, one of the constituent parts of a whole, right? Now look at this. From this scripture, let's reread it. Hold on. Let's reread that. Right here. It says, for we know in part, 1 Corinthians 13:9, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. So we know in our lot and we prophesy in our lot. Now, we're going to be gaining understanding in that lot too, to where, a lot of things, not only will our mind be being shaped, but your faith will be growing. Your faith will be strengthened. Your confidence will grow. All those things will grow. You'll become a man. Now, let's check this out. Verse 10, it says, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away with. See, but when that which is perfect is come, that's when we're working up to being perfect, brothers. We're excuse my lips. We're rehearsing the righteous acts to eventually become perfect, man. We're growing in our knowledge. Our brains are being removed. Our minds are being removed away from the foolishness of this world. And we're becoming into the knowledge of the mysteries of the scriptures, who we are, all of that. Just like how Jude was saying that we were going to come back into remembrance, right? Now look at this. It says, verse 11, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that's what we're doing now. Now, if you think about it, everything on this side is childish. If you're being wicked, every little wicked thing, ultimately, it's childish, man. Whether it's stealing, not obeying the elders, having sex with some other man's wife, man, it's a childish way of thinking. Esau got all these vibrations going on in the world, but really, ultimately, all the vibrations are just making everybody be childish. It's creating a behavior of childishness, man. Now I read it again. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. Just like how we did when we were in the world. We were out here smoking weed, popping pills, fucking other men's wives, whatever brothers was doing. I'm just naming things, right? But we were childish, man. And it says, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. We're becoming men as we speak. All this knowledge and wisdom and understanding that's going through this earth for the elect, cold-heartedly, it's making them men, man. It's making us men. It's turning us into men, man. We think spiritual. We don't think carnal and childish anymore. We think spiritual and like a man is supposed to, right? Man, but the Lord dropped these nuggets, man, in my spirit, and I just want to say, man, that there's an appointed time and experience or occasion for us all to go through, and we're gonna go, and the Lord is gonna deal with us through all our lots, through all our things that we're gonna go through. It was already designated, man. It was already predestinated. It was already there. We're just catching up to it by living. Same thing Yahweh Shai did. As we know, he was through all those reincarnations. He was all those different people, and he became a perfect man when he was Yahweh Shai. And the Lord came and got him. Same thing he gonna do with us, brothers. Same thing he doing with us. And with that, man, I hope you brothers were edified. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, man, ruling awesomely. And salutations, man, to you elect. Shalom.